No, I talked to him a couple weeks ago. We chatted a little bit about like his goals and stuff like that, but it's probably maybe different, or it might have been some new goal that he has that he shared with you.
So yeah, like the most recent thing was, hey, I need enough fuel for 500 more horsepower because, and this is the problem whenever you got people that don't have ideas, or if they know their beat, instead of, saying nice job, good job, great work, um, they get pissy and they start, saying, well, it's not real, or, it's fake, or you're cheating or whatever, right? Like those are the things that I've never really wanted to do because it's always, to me, showing signs of weakness. And I never wanted to look weak or sound like a little bitch. But so I've always been the guy that's been like, hey, nice work, good job. You just drove the industry up, which makes, all of my customers want more, and it pushes us technology wise to do more. So it's been frustrating to Josh because now that he didn't just pass people on the dyno by a couple hundred horsepower, which would have been, a strong, that would have been a good showing. He crushed people. And then to do it once and then to do it twice, it's like it wasn't a fluke. It actually happened. And he's the only guy that's actually kicking tires off of the dyno. So, I mean, at this point, I think that somebody's going to have to make a hub dyno that's actually, quality enough to actually do that. And I can tell you right now that I would not do it with my dyno com. There is no way. We had to change software over to yourdyno.com, and it works a hell of a lot better now than it used to, but I would not trust my dyno at that kind of power level at all. It would not happen. So I'm hoping that somebody comes out and builds a really good piece. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But even for UCC, if it turns into more reliability and more, potential for people to get hurt, then, because now that we're at 4,000 horsepower, things are going to start happening. Like what
Yeah.
I think Josh got done at about 205 miles an hour on wheel speed. That's moving.
Well, that was one of the things. It's interesting you mentioned that because a part of the podcast I had with him is I saw people that would say, "Well, let's see it uncorrected hit 4,000," and I said we went into a discussion of uncorrected versus corrected and and that kind of stuff, and he said there's more in this truck that I can get, but the conversation shifted to the tires and how tire companies they want. I think somebody took or it got misplaced at UCC the tire that had exploded, but they don't know how to handle a truck at that weight